stronger than a regular toothpaste.
Okay.
Okay.
She's right.
Oh,
My breath still feels fresh.
and how could I resist that smile?
New Crest Extra White Plus Scope Outlast.
We already have 3 former champions who have qualified for the Final Four. Will Melody Savage be the 4th, or will Kimberley Willis become the 3rd Willis sister to qualify? That's what we'll find out now as we begin the quarterfinal, playing for $100 a frame.
Well, the drama was all set with the last game, 222 to 221. Remarkable strikes.
And Melody with her 221 throwing first. Willis bowled a 213, and Melody opens with a strike.
And we're right at it again, and this lady, I think, has got a little extra pressure on her with the fact that her 2 sisters have already qualified, as much as I'd like to see it, because I think it would be a first to have 3 sisters, never mind the Williams family. You know, she started with this in one of the other games and spared it, so let's see what happens here. All the people in tennis that watch those sisters battle each other, this would be fun to watch the Willis family battle it out for bragging rights.
The Williams sisters of tennis. Oh my, not by much.
First frame goes to Melody Savage with the strike, because in this format, strikes beat the 9 count. Now, you notice the lady on the approach right now does not have a wrist guard on, and Melody does. So we'll talk about that as we go through the game. She's been sitting down there and might be just a little bit stiff. She needs to pick this up, convert it, getting some friendly advice from her 2 sisters. No doubt whatsoever, the corner got the ball, but the ball hit the pin on the way by. So let's see what happens with Melody. She's had an excellent finish there with strikes, strikes, strikes all the way through in the last 3 frames, and when she really needed it, and then started with 1. So she's actually on a 4-bagger here. Lowers down on the knees, gives a little bit balance that way. Straight over her head, lots of action.
And a little tap, and the 10 still standing. So she'll need that for the spare to force a carryover.
So far she won 6,750 going in, not counting what she's going to pick up here today, and she's on a roll. What's the corner pin? That ball goes down the lane about 2 miles an hour faster when she's going for a corner pin, for the single pin.
Melody Savage, the '98 champion, looking to become the 4th former champion to qualify for the semifinals. Has the early lead as we carry over here and play for $200 in the 3rd. And she'll leave that 10 up for a 2nd straight frame.
The ball just dives in here a little bit on her, a little bit faster. I mean, she's got the speed up there, and as a result, doesn't get enough deflection off of the pin. The 6-pin just lays in the channel on the right-hand side. Nice looking logo. TSN Pins game shows you the balance. It never moves all the time that she's out there bowling that corner pin, and that's a good way to keep it.
But a strike here would give Kimberley Willis the 2 frames and the $200. Her 2 sisters, Jennifer, Catherine, have already qualified. There it goes.
Look at that. There's 3 pins on the pin deck. Nicely done, and there's not any question about it. When you see the bowler get up there and actually start to swing, and it's so freewheeling, what they want to do is have all of the swing being freewheeling, as I mentioned, on the way back, and then all the authority as you're coming down and getting into your right by your heel. And that's where you'll see the power put onto the bowling ball, like this.
Wow, after the opening 9, a spare strike for Kimberley Willis.
More important, she's nice and relaxed. Like I said, she might be, by sitting there, got a little bit stiff. $200 already. This is pretty good spending money. Melody will respond. And she needs a strike. Look at the eyes. Don't move at all. There you go. Bends down. There's the action. There's the strike.
We got it. So we're carrying over again. And when you think back to Leah Musson, who we saw earlier, her eyes up and down, up and down, up. Nothing here from Melody, is there?
No, once they line up, that's an interesting shot there because the ball hits the 9 pin as it goes by, and then it just sat there. The people that are lined up, if you waver your eyes, you're distracting yourself just even momentarily. Now look at the wrist guard that she's got on. She's got underneath, there's on the ball on her index finger, she's got a little bit of a rubber on that glove, and it gives her a little bit more power, a little bit more roll on the ball. So she has the same thing on her index finger as she does on the baby finger. The 2 center fingers are loose where she can get into it. So just a little different style. Most people that wear those gloves will wear them if they're in long tournaments or if they're used to bowling in long tournaments. They just give you one less thing to set up. See, she can leave her hand exactly in the same position every time. Pushes it out, short backswing, brings it up over the head, no question.
So a spare in 5. But Kimberley Willis can win the 2 frames, another $200 with a strike. She already has 2 strikes up in 3 and 4. So she's got some pin count going too. And nothing. So now she needs that. She needs the 8 pin for a spare.
Interesting shot. What you'll see a lot of times when you see the pins moving around and splashing around, pins going sideways, they'll be getting hit. As the ball goes down and hits the pins, watch the butt of the pin hit the top of the other one, the center. Watch as you see that happen. And this one here, no question in the world, another strike up on the board, or a spare up on the board rather. So we've got a 79 to 78, 1 pin separating these 2 ladies. This is a very close match with all the money riding to decide who goes in as our quarterfinalist.
Yep. And a strike here puts all the pressure back on Melody Savage. She'll need to strike to force the carryover. It's a $300 and 3 frames at stake.
This is smooth all the way through. Look at the shoulders, balanced perfectly, knee bend deep, strikes the results.
Anything less than a strike costs her $300, and she's got it.
Well, why don't we go for 400?
Why not? But now here's the situation. $400 is at stake, and Melody cannot afford to lose it. $400 on Kimberley Willis's side of the ledger would put her through.
Well, that puts a little bit more pressure on it, but she can respond to that. She competed in the FIQ singles, a world championship event, and she finished 3rd. So that's a remarkable story for this lady that's up here right now. And she'll be rolling this ball up and a little bit light.
Yep.
Didn't quite follow into the pocket the way she wanted. The ball actually has to hit the center of the 17.5 board. Now watch this as she comes through. Executes it okay, but it just hung out there a little bit too long for her. She got everything going sideways, but not quite enough. So she's left the opening for her opponent with a strike to win.
Gets the 2 pin for the spare. She's had a mark in every frame so far. But now, a strike by Kimberley Willis here in the 7th, and she will advance to join her sisters. And what a story that would be as she got the strike. Looking for it here. No.
Well, we're going to be going, if she spares this, we're going to be going for $500. So the ball is still in play. Put a little bit more emphasis on it. Might have squeezed it a little bit more. So the 610 remains standing. Ordinarily a routine spare, particularly for a left-handed bowler to come across the lane that way. So here we go again.
So spare up, carry over. And now the game is on the line for both $500. Either bowler winning. And that would give them the game.
118 to 119 in points. Now, we've often just thought about this a little bit. Would you like to show the opponent what you need, or do you want to sit down and watch for it?
I want to show them.
Well, I
Like
show
that. Just like that. And for that very reason, now the pressure is all on Melody Savage. Get the strike. Will carry over. Anything less, and Kimberley Willis goes through, and there's the difference. Kimberley can just sit down now and almost yawn about it. I've done my job, she says. Now it's up to you, Melody Savage.
Well, she set the stage for Savage to respond, and we're looking at a strike here would carry over $500.
What have we got? No strike. And so Kimberley Willis will pick up the $500. And we have 3 Willis sisters in the Final Four. Kimberley Willis will join Jennifer and Catherine.
Melody has bowled a very good game, and yet she's still on the losing end here. She's got 137 in the 7th, 138 for her opponent. Got a spare up, and her opponent certainly has the hand on the next step, the next rung of the game. But Melody certainly has nothing to be ashamed of. She shot at 221, and now look at what's happening here. She's bowled well. Sit down, you bet. Not a doubt in the world when you hit it like that. Manitoba Female Bowler of the Year, Female Athlete of the Year. Excellent credentials to make that happen.
And maybe just a little bit of a letdown, you would think, Frank. Kimberley
Well, if that had to happen
clinching it, yep.
one frame earlier, this would have been a different match totally in results. Now she's left up 3 pins, a split on the side. Go for it because she has nothing to lose. 4-7-10. She knows that she's going into the next one. Some pretty good response from the young people. Nice to see the audience on hand at our center here and watching all of the people enjoy the talented show that they've been watching with all these bowlers putting it on.
Always nice to see the representatives from the bowling proprietors, and we welcome on the left Claude Rayaume, past president from Chelmsford, Ontario, the current president from Kelowna, Brian Sargent, and Don Haluka, the vice president from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. Thank you, fellas. Nice to see you all again.
A spare up. So we have a potential 186 for Kimberley. She knows she's going into the finals with her sisters. And we have one more ball for her. Watch her as she reaches through and extends right over the top. This will be a good way to end it with 184. And Melody can pick up some money if she gets a strike or a spare strike, as long as she wins with the pin count.
Of that 5-frame carryover, that's the difference.
Needs the spare and then a strike, and she can still win all the money. And then we've got Catherine, Jennifer, Kimberley, and Carrie Ryan Kayak.
Spare. Now a 9 count.
You got it. You are fast on that pickup.
How many years do you and I know?
6 years.
Picked up a lot from you.
I've enjoyed every time we've been on the show.
Now, if you can only do something about my luck in the casino, we're just, what do you got? Well, there you go. There's the strike to finish with another $100. Melody Savage congratulates Kimberley Willis, who advances to the Final Four, picking up $700. Holding a 184. 197 though for Melody, but the difference was that strike against the spare in the 8th. Kimberley Willis. And so now, if you bet Willis to win this, you might have a pretty good chance. The TSN Pins Game.